Have you ever had one of those moments where you realize something so obvious you're almost embarrassed you didn't know it sooner? From the fact that oil paint doesn't actually dry to the weird realization that the liquid inside a coconut isn't coconut milk. These little nuggets are the kind of things you'll kick yourself for not knowing. Here are 5 interesting and obvious facts that you must know. 5. Tear ducts drain tears. They don't produce them. You might think your tear ducts are the source of all your tears, but they've been taking the credit for something they don't do for ages. Tears are created by the lacrimal glands located above your eyes. Once those tears have done their job of keeping your eyes moist and comfortable, they drain through small openings near your nose called puncta. From there, they travel through narrow tubes, your tear ducts, and into your nose. 4. The and thou were actually the informal forms. If you thought the and thou were the fancy, formal ways to address someone, think again. Back in the day, these words were reserved for people you knew well, used in casual, one-on-one conversations. If you wanted to be formal or address a group, you and you were the way to go. It's similar to how languages like Spanish still use different forms of you depending on formality. Surprisingly, people use thee and thou in prayer because they viewed God as someone personal, like having a heart-to-heart with a very dear and close friend. 3. Covered bridges have roofs for a reason. Covered bridges aren't just built that way to look charming. They've actually got a practical side. Rain, snow, and sun can really wear down the wood over time, so the covers help to extend the bridge's lifespan significantly. It's a simple but clever design that keeps these iconic structures standing strong for decades, sometimes even centuries. 2. There is no N in restaurateur. It might feel like restaurateur is missing an N, but that's not a mistake. While a restaurant is a place you go to eat, a restaurateur refers to the person who runs or owns the establishment. The word comes from French, and despite the temptation to add that extra letter, restaurateur has always been spelled this way. So, even if it looks or sounds a bit odd at first, the spelling is totally correct and has been for centuries. 1. Oil paint doesn't dry, it hardens. Contrary to what you might believe, oil paint doesn't dry like other paints. While acrylic paint dries as water evaporates from the pigment, oil paint works differently. It actually undergoes a chemical reaction that makes the oil harden over time. The process can be slow, but working in a dry, well-ventilated space can help speed things up. Some artists even say that exposure to natural sunlight can be all the difference. And that's a wrap. Check out our more videos.